Is Maggie the new Ulty? Is Maggie the new Ulty? Maggie from Round Hill. Are we being catfished by this ETF? Well, when did I dump this ETF? Just now. Just now I dumped it. Today. That's why the thumbnail says when I dumped it. I tried to stay with her. I tried to make it work out. There's a song called Mama, I Think I Married a Hoe. And I was in this for the money. I gotta admit. Look at today. The markets are booming. The Dow is up 800 points. The S&P is up 5,200 points. And the NASDAQ is up 211 points. In my Discord, I have a paid group called the Apex Collective. They were worried yesterday on Sunday about the bombing of Venezuela. I said this will be epic for the stock market. Just like when we bombed Iran. We just went in and we just did the job. And we came out and looked like heroes. But this is not about that. It's like, Mama, I think I married a hoe. Maggie. So I gave her a chance. I wasn't going to wind up like this guy. Could Maggie be the new Ulty? Now, I had Ulty at $10. I interviewed the Colonel Sanders, like of Kentucky Fried Chicken, the founder. I interviewed the guy, and he said I had to reinvest 100%, whatever. They reverse split it. It's still going down. I mean, Mama, I think I married a hoe, too. Ulty, we knew she went down on everybody. Didn't matter who you were. White, black, Asian, Caucasian. Only because it rhymed. Didn't matter. Even if you were a midget, she'd go down on you. And now, Maggie, Mama, I think I married a hoe. 8,000 shares. 8,000 shares. I was getting some money every week. Let's pull up my, not a spreadsheet, calculation sheet. I've been trying to simplify. I've enrolled this week in High Yield Anonymous, Portfolio Starers Anonymous, PSA Portfolio Starers Anonymous. Today is Monday. I vowed I'm going to start one day at a time. Tell me if you think I'm going to do this, okay? Not to look at my portfolios for the whole week. I'm going to start with a week and do one day at a time. Very hard. I'm going to describe my symptoms to you, okay? I already feel some things, but I feel better because I threw the hoe out of the house. This is about, let me put some background music really low, but any of buds, this will really make it great. You're going to love this 3-trick plan. Notice everything, I said trick, right? Everything's about like a little bit of like a dirty, skanky prostitution kind of way. Instead of spreadsheets, we got Lambos and hoes. And the Magnificent Seven is very concentrated. Some say it's the Magnificent 5.5. This article, the Magnificent Seven shrinks to Magnificent 2. And they go through the whole thing. Magnificent Seven stocks aren't top performers anymore. It looks like only Alphabet and Nvidia are making it, right? And all this stuff. So that's number one. Now, inside the S&P 500, I love XDTE. I love SPY, but I hate its low payment. She's like, she don't put out enough, okay? XDTE, the only reason I loaded up, I got in under $40. There was a double banger, okay? Year end, okay, they did a gangbang on this one. Year end, 2 weeks in a row, they paid out almost $2. It's a $4 discount. I skipped the dividend, took the discount, and I'm up. But I'm not looking at my portfolio this week. I did go in this morning. I got to admit, I feel dirty. I had to kick Maggie out. She became a squatter. Can I go into it now? You notice the first few minutes of every YouTuber's video is, would you like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 and then you got to fast forward. I get right into the meat of it. I mean, if we were talking about, well, you'd be so close you could smell it. First, let's go to my spreadsheet. Okay, so I had 8,000 shares, all right? She was losing money. This is what happened. The Ulty situation, the same as Ulty. This was the other day, a few days ago. So I've been getting about $2,800 a week. If you figure 36 cents on 8,000 shares of Maggie. But I don't drip. I don't reinvest. This was the one day the other day. Okay? It might have even been today, this morning. I don't know. But here, look. I'm down $9,000. No, this was the other day. I'm down $9,000 on Maggie. Right? Then the other day, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, when we go ex-dividend day, I get my $2,800, right? I'm down $16,000 on this covered call fund, which is capped on the upside. And, I'm not doing individual stocks anymore. Keep in mind, so on the Magnificent 7, I was looking at it as a, idiot's index, right? The high payment, the high payout, 36 cents a week. Not much else beats it and doesn't lose NAV. But in reality, it does lose NAV. On the spreadsheets, on the charts, you won't see it until this is called the real money experiment. Because I got real money, I experiment. Okay? And I did this with Ulty. I bought 10,000 shares at $6.41. Okay? And the dividends I would put into T-bill. And then what I would do is watch my NAV. The payment would come, and the NAV would drop, let's say, $1,000 dividend. My balance would drop $1,000. And then you would hope that their professional trading would go ahead and trade up, or however, with the puts and the acrobatics and whatever they do, and you replenish the $1,000. Over time, it started happening that it was a dead even heat. $1,000 would go down from my balance, but it would be moved down to the dividend section. And then it started dissipating, going from being even to starting to diverge. In other words, I was losing more for the week than I would gain in the dividends. So now everybody's talking about the Mag 7. I'm concentrating. I'm thinking about it.
The one thing that I really love about this car is that it's just not a goddamn Tesla.
And so that brings me to the Magnificent 7 from a personal perspective. Hey, we're booming. Maggie is barely opening her legs for anybody. Up 16 cents, 0.30, while everything else is booming. So, and they're saying here, I showed you, that it's the Magnificent 2.5. So why should I be concentrated? Why would I not be in XDTE, which is the S&P 500? SPY, I got to tell you, it's like I look at now. Let's pull out. Hold on. So Maggie, I watched the spreading of her legs. Watched over the few weeks from me going to $9,000 down. Yeah, I was collecting the dividends, but listen, if your balance keeps going down and you're going to put the dividends in, you're not really getting dividends. You don't get it, do you? Because you're reinvesting, you're dripping. Poor people, it's the poor person's paradox, unfortunately. The poorer you are, the more you need the money, the more you drip and do stupid shit. Go into bad stuff. Right away, I seen the Ulty effect. I smelt like I was getting catfished, okay? And so, today, I dumped it. So I kicked her out. No more Maggie. I'm never going back. My last high yield now is XDTE. Why? Because I bought it cheap, $40. T-bill's going to hold my dividends for the month. And SPY, it's my income factory, baby. So, this is intelligent high yield. I don't want to be trading in and out of passive income funds. I mean, I'm a trader as it is. Now, SPY, I look at it like it grows. Okay? This could pay my margin. And then, you know what? When I want to complete, this could pay my interest. Actually, my interest there'll be profit there. But the simplicity of it, all it is weekly dividends. 13,000 shares of XDTE lowballing it at 21 cents. That's pretty good. I'm not looking that I could live off this. This could never, ever sustain me, this kind of money. I'm looking at it like, hey, whatever I got in here, it's like having money in a bank account, and it's going to pay me interest. And the interest it's going to pay me is $2,730 a week. It's going to go up and down with the S&P 500. Right now, it does decay a little bit, but my hope is that because of the cheap price I had at an entry, I could run it for a while. It's 10 grand a month. It's like a CD for me. Not a lot of movement. It's going to be boring. And you're gonna hear all the dumb YouTubers now. So this is my income stack. This is my factory. Now I have some things on margin, but for me, whatever's on margin, all right, I could sell everything. You see, I just click button margin. If I want to have no margin, I sell this, keep the other one. If I want to have no margin, I sell this and keep the other one. But in the interim, all the dividends, I don't drip them. I don't do anything. I put them in T-bill. So every month I could feel good. I could be like, look at that. I really made like $13,000 this month or $10,000. As long as we're not eroding, I'm good. So I got rid of Maggie. You know, we gave Ulty a lot of chances and we realized what we were dealing with. And so, the same thing. Maggie. But I don't get married to them. So this is when I dumped this ETF today. And now I'm putting myself into no check rehab. Now I like what I got. You want me to tell you what I got? So on a day like today, I took my exit. I don't know what's going on because when I looked at the last year, right, we were green, but by a cunt's hair, right? So it all depended when you bought it. If you bought it at 57, you took a hit. I don't want to take a hit no more. So sometimes I change my mind. Bonus question if you stayed this long. In the image, who am I referring to? What YouTuber? What's her first name? The Cat Fisher. Okay? Well, I dumped this bitch. Woo! Don't get catfished. Yield maxed. So now, eventually, I'm going to have to find a replacement for XDT as well. Because XDTE does decay, but it's my highest yielder. And my plan is really that I got in it at a good time. Okay? Hold on. Because of the year-end payments. That's all I'm counting on. Every one of these, it matters when you get in. If we look at last year, right? The lowest time was right here at the tariffs, $39. But because they only pay out what they make and they have to pay it all out by the end of the year, I bought down here. Okay? Right in this range. Not because they did anything wrong, not because the market crashed, not because the underlier is bad, but because they paid out a double dividend over 2 weeks, $2 a week almost, $1 and change. I didn't stay for the dividend, I came in after for the discount. So again, we look at today, we're starting to come up a little bit. I'd rather take my chances with an S&P 500 than a straight up Mag 7 that's so concentrated. Let me know what you think down below. Now, I'm really trying not to fiddle this year with my portfolio. So I'll just tell you what I'm going to not fiddle with, okay? Now, I take the dividends from this. I am not in a building phase. I'm an investor. I'm an owner. I put in a chunk of money, I buy something, and I want to get money extracted from it, and then I want my original investment back. Simple. You got to be able to change your portfolio around. But I don't want to tinker. I don't want to mess with it every day because it's up or down. So I'm going to just do this. For the first, I'm going to hold down as long as I can, not look. Now, I'm not looking at my big silver position in another account either. I haven't looked all day. But today I had a tweak. I had to kick Maggie out. Maggie had to go. Because I'm not going to sit there and be in that position and commune myself. I see the writing on the wall. The only thing that's really working long term, grows and pays you, is SPY. I don't like QQI. I bought it for a while. I watched it perform and just didn't work for me. I don't care sports spreadsheets. I don't care what Seeking Alpha. I don't care what back testing tells you. I do real money testing. Containment tests like I did with Ulty and now like I did with Maggie. So how we do it? So here's the new income factory. XDTE bought at a decent price. Okay, 13,000 shares. Gonna kick out like a streetwalker. 2,700 a week. Hopefully, she can go up. Okay, SPY. This is the classy high-end call girl. She puts out once a month. Okay, figure 50 cents a share, so that's $2,500 a month. This goes up. The NAV goes up, so your investment goes up, and your monthly income goes up. This, it can go up. I think I bought it cheap. Will I hold it long term? Well, there's always, sometimes you got to look at these things like women. Okay, sometimes they get long in the tooth. So these two right here keep my portfolio simple, keeps everybody happy, okay? And everything goes into T-bill. And then once I decide I want to pay off my margin, I just sell the margin amount. Keep everything that was in T-bill, that's my bonus. Okay, maybe I'll rip off the top XDTE. Don't forget, every dollar it moves up, I'm up $13,000. What if I sell just $13,000 worth and put that aside? My initial money stays there, right? Oh, there's so many things we can do. This channel's about strategies over spreadsheets. All right, I don't like individual stocks so much. And this is my YouTube Funfolio, okay? NVTS, it ranges from $8 to $15. Everybody's asleep, okay? And they don't know that we're coming up to earnings again. The end of February, you're going to hit NVIDIA, you're going to get everybody. Now, NVTS has earnings. It runs up. I always run up early, and then I sell into the crowd. When people are waking up that it's earnings and they're buying, I'm dumping on them. So right now, NVTS is like $8. It's in the bottom of the range. People are sleeping, okay? And NVTS, this is a 2 times leverage one. If you look at the numbers on it, it's crazy, all right? This was from, what's today? Yeah, that's the first dividend I got. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to get from XDTE this week, but it'll be in T-bill. We could all see it. And SPY is just SPY. Now, look, a lot of guys saying, oh, they're doing their own calls. They don't tell you the downside of selling your own options. They make it sound easy, cheerful, cheery, cheerio, motherfucker, cheerio. It's not cheerio. They get bashed. They don't make a lot of money. They take a lot of risk. They're stupid. They're stupid. They don't know the interworkings of things. Like Circle. Circle's a piece of shit stable coin. But you know what? It's the one that's being used by the U.S. government and Coinbase and Robinhood and everybody else to track everybody. Okay? They're all tracking you through USDC. They're promoting it over USDT. Okay? And it's basically the digital dollar for real. So Circle has potential. Circle has earnings. I'm going to sit in Circle, just 250 shares, because I noticed that, these things move a lot. That's why I like them. So you only need a few shares. I'm not selling no covered calls or anything. Listen, with this selling covered call bullshit, okay? I have housekeepers that come here and keep my house spectacular. Now, if I wanted to do it myself, I could. But I let them do it. Okay? Now, Jay is not one of my housekeepers. Like, if you're going to relate this to ETFs. Jay would not be one of my housekeepers. All right? Neither would anybody from Rec Shares or Granite Shares or any of these other douchebags. And now you're going to hear about these new things. Okay? Fuck are they called? Crustables? Uncrustables? Those are the little toaster things for kids. What's it called? Let me think. It's like swaps. I don't know. I forgot what they're called. They're going to come out with some new language. Watch. Because swaps didn't work for Round Hill. Something new is coming. It starts with an A. I forgot. It's not asbestos either. Anyway, so these two, NVIDIA is going to have their earnings February 25th. And I almost said Novartis. The semiconductor, NVTS, right? They're going to have their earnings on the 23rd. It's the beginning of January. People won't even be thinking about earnings, except that the money will be buying into these early. Now, the smart money. And we'll be dumping on you idiots when you're getting excited to hold through earnings and get demolished. So my real thing right here for now is XDTE and SPY. Nothing else is permanent. That's my passive income. I'm not going to wash my car. I'm not going to sell covered calls. All that stuff sucks, and all of a sudden everybody's an expert, and Amy is attractive in some odd, bizarre world. $333,000 whatever margin. All I gotta do is whack some of this shit right here, boom, and my margin's paid off. Pretty much. Super, super simple. Anyway, that's all I have to say. So, Mama, I think I married a hoe. Not anymore. I dumped this bitch. If you stay to the end, keyword is Mama.